So why is it tour professionals use old equipment? Let's get into it.
His bag is like probably the most mixed bag. The next one was more interesting. I couldn't believe he's got this in the bag. McIlroy was boring. He has 16 Apex irons, hasn't upgraded. And he's basically gone with Rick and Pete on a golf bidder challenge and come out the other door with his clubs. But obviously it's working, so.
Guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video. Simon down here at Perfect Golf Lab. Now, don't get me wrong, a what's in the bag video puts me to sleep quicker than the next man. However, what I do find interesting is some of the best players in the world that have full access to every single club that their manufacturer can produce from year to year. Why do they not always upgrade from year to year when we all know that one person that always upgrades no matter what from year to year? Now, not necessarily through the lower end of the bag like wedges and irons, obviously that's going to get replaced as they wear and tear. However, I do find it interesting at the top end of the bag, woods, drivers. Some tour professionals will just stick with it purely because it probably just works for them. They're not necessarily worried about distance, or maybe the numbers are better, but just mentally when they're standing on the tee with that club, it goes down the middle 90% of the time. So guys, first of all, I want you to tell me your one club in the bag. It might be 5, 10, 15 years old. Let me know, what is it? Why have you still got it in the bag? I've got to say, obviously, a big shout out to Golf WX, because that's obviously where I've seen all of these bags, because obviously I haven't got access to some of the best players in the world. So I'm going to look and go through the bags, talk about the equipment of some of the guys that are obviously in the top 10, not necessarily top 10, and what kind of clubs they're still using. And don't get me wrong, some of them look like they've just gone to Golf Bidder, but obviously it's working for them, and obviously they're in the top 100 of the world. So, if you like this video, give it a like. As always, please subscribe. Let's get into it.
So one of the main things I want to talk about, especially as my channel is basically centered not only around my long drive, my new left-handed series, but mainly about second-hand clubs, how they compare, how you can save money and still keep up with the technology. As at the end of the day, finding a club that works for you is more important, or finding something that you have in the middle or consistent shot, whatever it is more important than technology. That's what I believe, especially when I club fit. Again, I'm in a room, Perfect Golf Lab. I am a club fitter, I'm a golf coach. So I see pros and cons at both, but when you see some of the best players in the world playing for a stupid amount of money, yet they're still using equipment, not this year, maybe not even last year, but like 3 years ago, it's because they've got that connection. It's for that one shot that they know if they pull the trigger on it, it's gonna perform. And when you have that like emotional attachment / confidence mentally with a club, you're not gonna change it, or you're not likely to change it unless A, it's under your contract, or B, you find something that's even better. So let's start off with none other than Tiger Woods. Obviously M5 in the bag, M5 3-wood, which is basically a mini driver. So I imagine he just has that in the bag. Driver's not working, that comes out. And then obviously the M3 5-wood, which is interesting. I don't know why he hasn't put the M6 in there, for example. I'm pretty sure that obviously that clubs nowadays, the woods have got twist face. This hasn't got twist face. I don't think that really matters. I think personally, he likes the M3. It's obviously weighted well for him. He likes obviously hitting it. And I think the confidence and the emotional side of golf is more important than anything. I imagine when he hits that 5-wood, he knows he's going to hit out the middle. It's high launching because obviously the loft, for example, and he's still going to hit it a mile. So M3 Tiger's got in the bag at the moment. Hasn't replaced it with the M6. Now Brooks, legend, hitting it an absolute mile and caning it on tour at the moment. His bag is like probably the most mixed bag. Actually no, there's one at the end that's even more mixed than this. So obviously he's got the M5 in the bag, M2 Tour 3-wood, which I found very interesting. I personally thought the 2017 range of the M2s were rubbish. The 2016 range was from top to tail just unbelievable and really good. M2 I didn't kind of get on with. I mean, I've actually got that 3-wood in my bag. I haven't got the Tour because I'm not that good of a player and I hit it all over the place. But again, obviously it's just a low head, low spinning. If you had it out in the middle, it's going to go a mile again, and obviously he shows. The next one was more interesting. I couldn't believe he's got this in the bag. Nike Vapor 3-iron. Wow. I mean, That's old, but at the same time, a 3-iron is a 3-iron. Like, it's a lump of metal at the end of a stick. If the loft and launch is good, then it's good. So I'm not too sure if he has to have a nightclub in the bag, being like a night player. Obviously, he's got all the clothing. Someone knows, leave a comment down below. But yeah, I just found that very interesting. It looks like the nuts as well. I bet you could probably get that club for like 50 quid on eBay or Golf Bidder. It looks the nuts, no question. And then obviously wedges, custom Scotty, you know the business. But I found that very interesting. Those two clubs anyway, the M2 Tour and obviously the 3-iron, I found quite interesting, both of those. And obviously keeping it real. And he is tearing it up. McIlroy was boring. I put McIlroy in here, but unfortunately he's got new everything. Just M6, M5, M5 driver, M6 fairway woods, and then M5, and then so on and so on, irons, everything else. Good win the other week, so well done. But at the same time, unfortunately, yeah, nothing really interesting or to report. Kevin Na, the Big Bertha. I would arguably say one of the best drivers in the last 5 years for the longer hitters, that low spin, jailbreak. Whether it's a gimmick or not, I don't know. I just remember when I hit it, it went a mile. Like, the spin rate just dropped considerably. I've always been a fast hitter, also I'm doing long drive now, so I've obviously increased, but I've always been like the 120s, for example. So when I hit the Epic, all of a sudden the spin rate went from like 2.5 to like 1500, which is probably too low because your bad shots are like over there and over there. But like, I was getting 340, like 330 carry with it, which is just stupid, especially for that swing speed. And again, he hasn't upgraded to the Flash, which is interesting because he's got the Epic Flash 3 wood. So again, it goes down to, I imagine, he just likes it. He probably likes the sound, the feel. He's found some fairways with it, the confidence with it. It takes a lot to take that out of the bag. Like, unless you're under contract, you're gonna, I wonder if he's got a head cover. I bet he's got the Epic Flash head cover on that though. That'd be interesting. Again, I don't know. If you got to know that, leave a comment. But I bet he's got the Epic Flash head cover on it. But yeah, still using the old Epic. And CF16 Apex irons hasn't upgraded. And again, you've been practicing like all winter, getting ready for the season, even though there's not really that much rest when it comes to golf. Do you really want to change your irons? Like, I mean, the new Apex irons came out in what, March, I think, something like that this year, for example. So again, you're halfway or just started the season. Do you want to change your irons now? I mean, they've probably been spine, swing weighted, length, line, everything for him. So yeah, and again, to be perfectly honest, I think the new Apex looks better, but realistically, same loft, same shaft. Are you going to notice much difference? Doing a blind test between the both of them, are you going to notice a difference between that and the 18s? That'd be something. Blindfolding and hitting, that's something I feel like I should do in the future. But anyway, Apex irons, and then again, weirdly, he's got two different wedges. He's got the Titleist, again, the K grind's huge, which is basically just for bunkers and slapping out of, and then the Mac Daddy wedges. Again, interesting array of clubs there from Kevin Na. So then, John Rahm, again, nothing to report, unfortunately. He has, oh no, oh, that was it, yeah, I remember now, yeah. So, for example, John Rahm, M5, M whatever, P760s, still, or P750s I should say. However, Ryan Palmer, wow, talk about a man. Now, Ryan Palmer's not necessarily been on my radar, mainly because obviously he plays a lot of PGA Tour, and obviously I only keep up to date with European Tour stuff. However, hero status. His bag is unbelievable. Like, he's basically gone with Rick and Pete on a Golf Bidder challenge and come out the other door with his clubs. But obviously it's working, so fair play to the man. Let's talk about it. TaylorMade M1 driver. Again, I prefer the M2. I'm a slapper, therefore I need the forgiveness. And I'm pretty sure I couldn't get the M1 airborne, I think. I don't think I was swinging the club or hitting the ball well enough to get the M1 airborne when it first came out. But he's got the M1, so we're talking nearly 3 years old now. We've gone 3 drivers since then, I'm pretty sure in saying. Yeah, 3 drivers since then. So obviously it's still working. As I say, this is only like 2-3 months old. Then M2, so we've upgraded slightly. 2017, welcome to the game. He's gone up to the 3 wood with the M2. Older, he's basically, it's going older as it goes down. I mean, newer on the 3 wood. R15, and it looks like he's got lead tape on the back of it. Like, that looks like he's put lead tape around the side of the back here to give him like higher launch and then slightly more. Obviously he hits it slightly toey as he likes to have the weight there. I remember the rep telling us that. But anyway, wow, that's a club. Like, if you saw that in the bin in like a second-hand stuff in the shop, you're staying well clear. You're like, what? Who has done that? What are you doing? Again, the man's doing well, leave him alone. And again, Strixon 785s, keeping it nice and down to earth, and then obviously Vokeys, and he's still got the O Works putter in the bag. And again, when you've got personal things like putters, for example, if you find something that works, you can see it's well used, this one. You're not going to change it. I'm a big fan of the straight lab putters this year, I'm not going to lie. The graphite shafts, I read a lot of research into graphite shafts 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. The guy invented Toulon, and when obviously brought them out this year, I was quite excited, and obviously got to hit it. Don't get me wrong, you only need a flat stick, it's still going in the hole. However, I do feel graphite in putters is going to be a bigger thing in the future. Dampening effect, everything else. But look at that bag, ladies and gentlemen. That is something your mate would turn up with on a weekend. That is one of your mates turning up with that bag. What a hero. Great looking bag, and yeah, interesting indeed. Okay guys, thank you for watching the video. I hope you learned a bit about that, and obviously puts a bit of a note, not necessarily always buying brand new, or if you've got something that works, and stick with it. Don't get rid of it just because something is shiny and more expensive and newer. Anyway, guys, see you later.